Hello! Good day to everyone. This is Sir Peds. Welcome to the first episode of MTV, Mathematics Tutorial Video. In this episode, we will be talking about the basic of statistics. In the basics of statistics, here are your content standards. Here are your performance standards. These are your learning competency. And this is your lesson outline. On March 20, 2021, Philippines recorded the highest all-time single-day tally of 7,999 new cases, giving a total cases of 656,056. Moreover, the active cases yesterday amounts to 80,642, while the recovery of 597 gives a total of 562,484 recoveries. But it's sad to note that 10 died yesterday, giving us a total of 12,930. Some of you may call these numbers as a statistic. To give a light, we have some funny statistical facts. Example, don't you know that 11% of the 11% of all people are left-handed? That's why mostly some of us are right-handed. Also, August is set as the highest percentage of birth. My God, I'm part of those. I'm born August 18, Leo. Moreover, don't you know that 85% of all plant life are found in the ocean? That's why most of the ocean parts are yet to be explored. Let's go to animals. Don't you know that koalas spend 3/4 of the day or 18 hours of the day sleeping? And also, don't you know that an average person takes 25 years of sleep on his lifetime? So maybe if you live until 70, that means that you only been awake for say 55 years. Now, let's move to more interesting things and going to the definition of statistics. Going to the meat of it, let us define statistics. Statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with the collection, organization, analysis, and interpretation of masses of numerical data. So let's start with collection. Data don't just materialize. You need to go outside, collect or gather data or information. You may use survey, interview, questionnaire. Go to the local library, collect data. After collection of data, you are to organize your data. How will you organize your data? Maybe you can write your data from highest to lowest, lowest to highest, or you can use graphs. You can use tables in organizing your data. After that, you analyze your data. In analysis of data, you are trying to get the mean. You are trying to get the median, the mode, the variance, and the standard deviation of the data. And after that, you are to interpret the data. When you say you are to interpret, you are to try to answer questions with regards to your data or information. Maybe you want to know if in reality Philippines are a lot intelligent than people coming from other country. Then you are to create or you conduct a research. And after that, you interpret the data that you will gather. Collect data, organize your data, analyze your data, and then interpret your given data. In collection of data, you will encounter the word variable. Variable is any characteristics, number, or quantity that can be measured or counted. When we talk of variables, just think of the word vary. It varies in value. Example, in your classroom, you are trying to analyze which group is better in mathematics. Are the girls better than the boys? Let's try to gather data or information. Let's try to gather gender of the group. So gender is a variable because the gender can be male or female. What more? Address. Address is a variable because your classmates may live from Tandok, he may came from Tagal, he may came from Quinton, and so on and so forth. They may also come from Tandao. Now, in gathering data or information, in gathering variable, you will have the data. Data are the values that the variable can assume. In sex or gender, the data that you may gather are either male or female. How many male are there in the classroom? How many female are there in the classroom? How many are from Tandok? How many are from Quintong? How many are from Agdao? Next, you may get, say, let's have a data or information, grade 10 math grade. So that is also a data. 98, 99, 95, 80, 82, 84. Those things varies. So that is a variable. And the things that you will gather are all data. The variables may be classified into two. You get qualitative variable, or these are the words or codes that represent a class or category. Take note of the word class or category. You only talk of grouping. Grouping. What are the groupings? We have, again, going back, we have religion. That's a grouping. Gender. Eye color. Address. Year level. Marital status. What are the marital status? Single, married, widower, widowing, so on and so forth. Okay? We also have quantitative variable. Quantitative variable are numbers which represent amount or count. Representing amount or count. So when you talk of measurement, you talk of quantitative variable. Age. Unit of measurement for age is years. Weight. Unit of measurement for weight is kilogram. Height. Unit of measurement is inches, meter. Land area. Unit of measurement, kilometers, square kilometer. What more? Volume, milliliter. So if you talk of things or data which are numbers that represents amount or count, that is quantitative. As opposed to numbers that do not represent amount or count. I would like to clarify this one. Year level is qualitative because it talks of category. It does not necessarily mean that if you talk of numerical value, it is already a quantitative variable. Since year level does not represent any unit of measurement, therefore year level is a qualitative value. Now, quantitative variables can be classified again into two. Di maubos-ubos na dalawa. Two. This is discrete. Discrete variable can only assume values which are whole numbers, can be assigned to numbers such as 0, 1, 2, 3, and which are countable. Ideally, discrete variable are used when you talk of population, when you talk of number, when you talk of count. number of people in your barangay, number of brothers and sisters, number of cell phones that you have, things that you cannot use decimal or fraction. Okay. Number of siblings, number of new COVID cases, number of people who entered today. Continuous variable can assume all values between any two specific values. In short, you can have fraction and you can have decimal. Such as weight, height, temperature, age. Bakit po weight? Pwede. Because if you go to the market, you can buy 1/4 kilo of meat, 1/2 kilo of meat, 1/4 kilo of vegetable, 1.5 kilo of meat, 1.5 kilo of fish, and so on and so forth. These values can take fractional part. Now, we also have two types of statistics. You got the descriptive statistics that summarizes or describe the important characteristic of a known set of data. So, example of a descriptive statistics. Every 2 years, PSA is conducting census of the characteristic of Filipino population. They are trying to determine average age, average income, number in the family, and so on and so forth. This data only summarizes and describes the characteristic of the Filipino population. Hence, these are examples of descriptive statistics. Inferential statistics, in a case, use sample data to make inferences or prediction about population. If you're doing hypothesis testing, determining relationships among variables, and making predictions, you are doing inferential statistics. Right? Example, is there a significant difference between IQ level of male and the female students? Or we say, is there a relationship between grade in math and grade in English? What do this relationship imply? Meaning, if you are good in math, that also means that you are good in English? If you are good in English, does that mean that you are good in math? Or vice versa? If you are good in math, you are not doing good in English, and if you are good in English, you are not doing good in math. Those are relationships. If you are doing those kind of testing, you are taking the inferential part of statistics. We also have 4 levels of measurement. We have nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. Nominal and ordinal data are data for qualitative variables. Nominal data are data consisting of names, labels, and categories. No criterion to identify which value is greater or which value is lesser. Right? So this is simply grouping or category. Gender, eye color, network provider. Those are groupings or categories only. Wala kang masasabing mas magandang network provider, hindi mo masabing mas maganda ang Smart, hindi mo masabing maganda ang Globe kasi wala ka pang criteria to tell which better than it. Or among those network providers. There's no criterion that this religion is better than that religion. Therefore, religion is a nominal data. We also have the ordinal data. In ordinal data, data that may be arranged in some order. It can be from highest to lowest, lowest to highest. An example of that is sizes of shirt. Small, medium, large, XL, double XL, and so on and so forth. Military ranking, you start with corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, and so on and so forth until you go to general. You also have your in your classroom, your homeroom. You have your president, vice president, and so on and so forth. There is an order. Also ranking. First, second, third, fourth. Those are ordinal data. For quantitative data, we have interval. When you talk of interval, you talk about true zero value. True zero value means that, okay, in interval data, that means that there is no true zero value. In short, it may not end at zero. Example, temperature. You will get a negative temperature, pH level. Those are data which are interval information. For ratio data, these are data which have inherent zero starting point. Age, zero age, you're not yet born. Weight, zero. Maybe you did not put anything there. Height, zero. Number of cell phones, zero. You don't have any cell phones in your home. And so on and so forth. Ratio data. Okay, let's move on. We also have the 4 methods of sampling. This is our last part in our lesson outline. 4 methods of sampling are the random sampling. Random sampling is done by chance method or random numbers. So it's done by chance. An example for that is lottery method. Lottery, palabunutan po. Kaya nga lottery, loto, palabunutan. Fishball. Pag sinabing fishball, ilalagay lahat ng mga pangalan nyo lang sa isang lalagyan. Dudukot yun si teacher. Fishball method. Bakit po tinawag tong fishball dati? By history kasi, they put it on a glass container so that everybody can see the name. Everybody can see that you are getting a name without putting any on it. Walang dayaan. Okay? We also have the table of random number. How to use table of random number? You put a number, at the end of the name, you put a designated number, and then you close your eyes, say, put your hand on the table of random number, whatever numbers comes up, then that is the one that you will get as your sample. We also have the systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is done by numbering each subject of the population and selecting the kth number. Assuming you have 100 population and you are to get 20 from the 100 population. So think of the number. Think of a number, say K. K equal to 8. So what are the samples? So you get every 8 element of the population. 8, 16, 8, 16, 24, 32, and so on and so forth. Then you go to 96. Right? At 96, you go back again. 96, you go back to 4. Okay? Stratified sampling. Stratified sampling, you divide the population into groups called strata. In each strata, this is considered to be homogeneous in form. Example of that, in a group, in a school, we classify as first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and so on and so on. Next is cluster sampling. In cluster sampling, we use an intact population called cluster, and we divide the group into districts, cities, or region. Ideally, we use cluster sampling for location format. Right? Because in cluster sampling, you have groups which are heterogeneous in form. Stratified sampling, your group are homogeneous and you are using strata. Stratified sampling, your group are heterogeneous and you are using clusters. That's it for today. This is Sir Pedro. Thank you for listening.